Welcome to Faces Friday. I'm Lynn Sherritt, and I'm really glad you joined me. I've been thinking a lot about the power of networks. Effective educators build intentional networks. There are informal networks, but these are networks that really are about reciprocal influencing, about finding the common ground and thinking together, talking accountably, and making meaning of our connected educational world. So for me, networks are about sharing data at the beginning of our meetings, co-constructing operating norms, how we're going to treat each other in these meetings, and then setting a learning intention that's specific and focused, and co-constructing success criteria. What will success look like when we're growing and improving by sharing our knowledge with each other in these networks? I believe that networks need a knowledgeable other to really keep the meetings focused, purposeful, and to build collaboration and also knowledge with each other. Networks begin with data, as I said, and they often develop a collaborative inquiry question. And to me, it really doesn't matter whether it's a personal collaborative inquiry question based on your own data or whether it's a network or a group-focused collaborative inquiry. But what's important is that they're purposeful and the outcomes can be measured. We're learning about the explicit practices within schools and across schools that make a difference to ensure that all students are learning, growing, and achieving. So when I'm in networks, our networks always either begin or end with a learning walk and talk to really learn from each other. Let's have a listen to Jody Grimmond and Bernie Bolton from Regional Victoria talk about their networks and the power of networks.
Yes, so thank you. I think, Lynn, we've got an eye on our impact at a couple of different levels within our area. We have 3 networks that operate across those areas, and so within those networks, we are really keenly looking at and keeping an eye on our implementation, and we come together regularly. We're coming together more face-to-face now, which is very exciting. But we have been making sure that we're in touch with those people over the course of last year. So I think there's an opportunity for us to continually have our eye on how our schools are going in terms of implementation, and supporting each other is the other thing around that network as well, that people come together as supportive networks. And I can see Jody has joined us, and she was in one of those networks. She's stepped out of it momentarily, but she'll be back sometime soon, I'm sure. Jody, is there anything you want to say about at the network level?
Bernie, you very much. I'm interested to hear your story, that network level of work, and it was interesting to hear what other systems we're talking about, how they're approaching the work. Bernie, I think the networks are varying degrees of implementation, but what you're planning to do is bringing it across the area and that broad group. I'm quite excited about the next steps you take. So I probably won't steal anything from what the story you've got to tell on that front, but I know my own network, that Alpine Tawong network, the strategies there, the point of implementation and learning by doing as they go. They just keep developing their understanding of the work, and it just takes lots of time, and learning by doing, I guess, is the lesson.
I think that is the lesson, that we do the work together, and that's how it progresses the work, and we measure our own impact. Thanks very much for joining us on Faces Friday. Thanks to Bernie and Jody for sharing their information and work in their networks. Join me next week on the next Faces Friday. See you then.